Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 478 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. What's going on out there? You all having a good week? I hope you are. Are you living a life that you love and you're super excited about? I hope that too. If you're not, though, have you ever wondered why? Like, why do things seem to happen for some but not for others? Why are some people so successful and others not so much? It's a good question. Now, in this book, I'm reading Laws of Life by John Templeton. He speaks about how sometimes we have this dream and it just keeps being one step away from us, and how sometimes that's because we still have something left to do that maybe we're avoiding because it's out of our comfort zone. And so we distract ourselves, which just keeps the dream one step away. Now, I notice for me, when I get uncomfortable, the first thing I want to do is distract myself. And it usually either involves my phone or even a snack. Do you guys ever do that? Like, you're anxious or you're trying to do something that you don't know how to do, and so you end up on your phone scrolling, or maybe you go into the pantry and grab a snack. Now, fortunately for me, I have actually built a lot of discipline in the snack department. I've not always had discipline there. It's an area that I've really been focusing on. It's really amazing what you can do when you're determined to do it. So Eric and I were having dinner the other night. I made us a big salad with baked chicken on top. It was so yummy. But in the back of my mind, I knew we had cookies in the freezer. And when we were done with dinner, I noticed I was kind of wanting a cookie. My sister-in-law had made these insanely good peanut butter cookies that are gluten and grain and dairy free and given them to us. And she gave us a whole bag of them, actually. So we ended up putting them in the freezer because we only allow ourselves dessert twice a week. And if they're in the freezer, I'm not going to nibble on them because, I have to heat them up and all that. But it was a Monday, and I didn't want to waste one of our dessert days on a Monday. It's kind of a mindset thing. And I also knew we had friends come. We were going to be doing dinner with friends, so I didn't want to worry about if we were going to be able to do dessert or not. But just as I was thinking about the cookie, Eric said, "You know what? I'm kind of wanting one of those cookies." And I kind of laughed, and I thought, oh man, he read my mind. But then he added, but it's Monday, and I know it's just a craving and it'll go away in a minute. So that was a complete buzzkill because I thought we were both going to get a cookie, but he was right. And in a minute or two, we had both forgotten all about wanting the cookie. I mean, it never even came up again. We didn't even think about it. So what I do for extra protection, because I know it can be an issue sometimes, I make sure I don't have anything easy access in my house in case my discipline wavers, which is why we freeze cookies, because it takes time and thought to get it out and heat it up. So I'm not just going to go by and grab a cookie and eat it. The idea behind that is that by the time you have to get the cookie out of the freezer, put it on a plate or heat the oven or put it in the microwave, the urge is basically gone. So one study, they call that surfing the urge. It's basically you don't respond immediately to an urge that you're having. You just notice it, allow it to be there, and don't feel the need to solve for it. I mean, this allows you to make a decision when you are using your mind outside of the urge. Sometimes when you're inside an urge, there's nothing you can do about it. But once you wait for it to go away, you're able to make a choice. This applies with any urge, including distractions. So for me, snacks are kind of handled, but realistically, the biggest problem I have right now would be my phone. The phone is a whole other situation because it's always there, and I always know I can distract myself fully and completely by getting on X, where my favorite posters are just waiting to grab me and take me on a really interesting ride on any topic of my choice. And then an hour later, I've forgotten that I needed to be distracted by something, and I didn't accomplish the thing I wanted to accomplish. Now, that's not a big deal if you only do it once, but consistently doing that every day will absolutely keep me from reaching my fullest potential. I'm sure I'll accomplish some things, but what would be possible if I really allowed myself to stick to being distracted no more than 15 minutes per day? I mean, actually timing it. And if we use it all up in one sitting, so if you say, I'm only going to be on X for 15 minutes, and you use it up in one sitting, then that's it for the day, or Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is on your phone that keeps you from reaching your full potential. What could we accomplish with that sort of discipline? We all have the ability to decide how and where we spend our time. I mean, we lay our heads down at night. When we do that, do we really wish we had spent more time mindlessly scrolling on our phone or watching TV? Or do we want to go to sleep fulfilled because we spent our precious time doing things that brought us joy or moved us forward or made us better in some way, whether that's mentally or physically? I've come to realize that distraction really is a tool for the undisciplined mind. So how does that feel when you hear that? Distraction is a tool for an undisciplined mind. It actually hurts to hear it. I mean, I'm offending myself here because I do tend to get easily distracted. The thing I have going for me is that I know that, and so I consistently work at it. Now, we all get distracted periodically, but consistently distracting ourselves is how we end up losing sight of what it is we personally were put here to do, because we all have something that we deeply want to accomplish. Now, most of us want to be healthy mentally and physically. Most of us want to have success in some way or another, whether that's raising an amazing, well-adjusted, successful kid or having a career that's fulfilling in all the ways we want it to be. I mean, if you really think about it, the thing that stands between you and everything you want is basically distractions. We don't have the body we know we could have because we distract ourselves with food. We don't have the mental clarity we could have because we distract ourselves with alcohol. We haven't reached our fullest potential because we distract ourselves with limiting beliefs. And a lot of times our relationships suffer because we distract ourselves with social media or the news or TV. What do we always say about someone who is really successful at something? I mean, if someone's super fit, we admire their discipline, right? Where we admire how disciplined they are. If someone eats super healthy, we admire their discipline. If someone has the ultimate success in our mind, we admire their discipline. You very rarely see super fit people distracting themselves by overeating, not consistently. You rarely see the mentally sharpest people you know distracting themselves with excessive alcohol, not consistently. And you rarely see the CEO of a company spending hours on Facebook, not consistently. And finally, you rarely see a mom of 4 successful, beautiful kids spending tons of time on social media while her kids are right in front of her. Not consistently anyway. The reason we admire someone is because in their chosen field, they're disciplined. They don't allow their dreams to be always one step away because of distraction. They have a very disciplined mind in at least that one area. So is there an area where you've allowed an undisciplined mind? Is there an area where distractions are keeping you from reaching your full potential? Are distractions hurting your relationships? Are they hurting your mental and physical health? Are distractions keeping you from reaching your full potential? I know realistically for me, the answer is sometimes yes, but I'm aware of it. And my goal is to be better today than I was yesterday. Awareness is the first step. So what are distractions taking from you? It's a good question to ask. So I'm an uplifter at heart, so I wanted to end this episode on a soft and very positive note. My husband bought me a small little book to go along with my daily journal. It's called Reminders from the Universe. It's just a few lines on each page, but they're really powerful. And one of the pages that I read today was so beautiful and comforting. I'll put it in the show notes, but if you want to remember it as well. But this was this morning's reminder from the universe. So here's today's reminder. I don't want you to struggle or strive. I want you to relax, breathe, let go, and embrace a more effortless existence where things flow naturally. When you allow me to lead, you'll discover that my guidance is the only strength you need. Embracing my energy reveals the constant magic that surrounds you. Isn't that beautiful? I think that's a beautiful reminder from the universe. Whether you believe that's guidance to be from God or the universe or maybe from your own internal guidance, it's comforting and it feels right, doesn't it? So my challenge to you this week is to be honest with yourself about distractions. What are they taking from you? Is an undisciplined mind negatively affecting what you know you can accomplish? How would your life look with a disciplined mind? I think that's an exciting question to answer, and it's one I will be journaling about for sure. Share this with 3 people who inspire you to live a more intentional life. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.